Give it up for our friends at Adventurist.
I'm Nicole Godin, this is Lisa Ferguson, and we're with Adventurist. And we are here to talk about women travelers. Specifically, women face unique problems when they want to do travel that is off the beaten path. And when I mean off the beaten path, I'm talking about a woman who's she's been to Rome, she's been to Berlin, and now she wants to go to somewhere like Vietnam. And she, like every other adventure traveler, she wants to go somewhere that is new, it's a new culture. She wants to experience the environment in an environmentally sustainable way. And she wants to maybe incorporate some kind of action and adventure, maybe kayaking or a trekking trip. So she goes to Google and she types in things to do in Vietnam, and there's 82 pages of Google results, but none of them can really answer her specific concerns. So we're gonna look at those concerns. Men and women do have different concerns when traveling. So Tom here says, I never really thought about any issues I would come across. My biggest concern was trying not to spend too much money on partying. Now I have that concern too when traveling, but my concerns are actually a little bit more like Alyssa's. Alyssa's a little more concerned with knowing how to get around and going on island tours on her own. So we can see that women and men tend to have different concerns when traveling. Now, these are just anecdotes. I'm actually a scientist. I'm getting my PhD in cognitive science, so I'm going to talk a little bit about data. And it turns out that men and women travelers are pretty similar to Tom and Alyssa here. Now, I talk about data. There are tons of data on travel out there. I'm just going to give you two numbers from the research that we've done. The first number, 52% of women who have done travel before, and they've been to Berlin and Rome and places like that, have wanted to go to a country but have not gone on that trip, specifically because because they're concerned about safety and because it's hard to plan. Now, planning brings me to my second number. Women will spend, on average, 21 hours researching and planning each trip. 21 hours, that's like almost 2 seasons of Orange is the New Black. So the problems here are that not only are some women wanting to go on these trips, they're experienced travelers, but they feel like they just can't do it. But even when they do feel like they can do it, it takes them 21 hours to do so. That's the status quo, and we're going to use that.
So as Nicole mentioned, my name is Lisa Ferguson. I am a recent MBA grad from the University of Iowa. And this is our concept for Adventurist. We want Adventurist to be a go-to online resource for women adventure travelers. So we're looking at providing expert tips from other women travelers around the world, including information as well as specific sites that are safe places to go, and companies that are reputable. And then we're also looking at providing information that can be downloaded directly to your phone so that women can have access to that while they're traveling. So here is a look at some of the information that we're interested in providing. As I mentioned, the experiences, the tips, and then just the basic things that you need to know. The important thing to stress here is the difference between this and what's out there right now is that this will be specifically by women for women. So as Nicole mentioned, when you go type in things to do in Vietnam in Google, you get a ton of different results. It's a lot of information. You're not sure what's reliable. It's a lot of information you don't need. This will be only the information you need, none of the information you don't, and it will be pre-vetted by women for women so that they know it's a trustworthy and reliable source of information. So in our data collection, we found that women really care about 4 different things when they're doing this research and pre-planning. They care about reliability and safety, reviews and personal experiences, organized information, and independence. And right now they have really 3 other options. They can look at women travel bloggers, women's networks, and group tours. But these different options only provide varying levels of these 4 very important characteristics and qualities that women are looking for. So our goal with Adventurist is to be able to encompass all 4 of these aspects and really be a one-stop shop for women when they're planning these adventure travel experiences. So our true value is that Adventurist empowers women to embark on life-changing travel experiences, giving them the planning tools that they need to adventure daringly. They save time, they can feel safer while they're traveling, but they're still able to take on these really adventurous and life-changing experiences. And with that, we're hoping to tap into a very lucrative market. Our target market consists of women adventure travelers, And if we can tap into just 2% of that market, which we wanted to keep it fairly conservative because we do know it's a very saturated market, we'd be looking at $936 million in annual revenue. So to get to that revenue, we want to diversify our revenue streams. We're looking at a freemium membership for women, so they get some content for free, but then pay for the full content. We're also looking at a certification fee, being able to help train some of those experienced providers to be able to provide the types of information and experiences that women really care about in order to make sure that they're staying safe and feel comfortable on those trips. Eventually, we'd like to work up to bookings taking place on the site, and we'd take a 5 to 10% transaction fee of those bookings. And in the meantime, we'd be looking at advertising and affiliate links as a source of income. So, where are we right now? We are in pretty initial stages, but we have conducted 80 customer interviews that have led to some pretty important insights about how women experience the planning process as well as the actual trip. We're also compiling a guide to Vietnam that we're going to use as our template, which can then be expanded to several different geographic locations around the world. And we're preparing for a web launch. Where we'd like to go is, of course, we want to be in as many places as possible, so we'd like to start in Southeast Asia, but expand geographically. We're also planning on speaking with influencers in the industry, such as travel bloggers, different apparel sites to get referrals there, industry partnerships, and then eventually down the road we'll be looking at enhanced web features. So as I mentioned, being able to actually book on the site, have more accessibility with the downloads, an app, and stuff like that that can be accessible while traveling. So with that, we'll take any questions.